By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to handle the loyalty bind. The invisible tug-of-war inside your stepchild that makes them pull away from you at the very moment they start to feel close. You'll understand why your warmth gets answered with a cold shoulder, why a wonderful weekend is so often followed by a terrible week. And you'll walk away with practical tools to build a bond that no amount of interference from the other household can undo. Because here is the part nobody warns you about. The harder you try to connect with your stepchild, the more they seem to pull away. You felt it. You learned which cereal they like. You remembered the name of the friend from school, the show they're obsessed with, the way they want their sandwich cut. You planned the outing. You bought the tickets. You sat through the movie you would never have chosen, and you laughed in the right places. And for a few hours, it worked. They leaned against your shoulder. They forgot to be careful. And then Monday came, or a phone call came, and the child who hugged you goodbye on Sunday walked past you on Friday like you were furniture. You are not failing. You are not imagining it. You are not the problem. You are standing in the middle of something that has a name, and almost nobody explains it to stepmothers. So let's explain it. It's called a loyalty bind. Here's what that means in real life. Somewhere below words, below anything they could ever say out loud, your stepchild believes that loving you is a betrayal of their mother. Every warm moment with you feels like it was taken from her. Every laugh at your table feels like a small act of treason against the woman they love first, and most, and without condition. So it isn't you they're pulling away from. It's the closeness itself. Closeness has become dangerous. And this is the piece that changes everything, so let it land. That cold shoulder after the good weekend is not proof the bond is failing. It's proof the bond is forming. The child felt something real, panicked, and corrected course. They got too close to you, and the guilt caught up with them, and they did the only thing a child knows how to do with guilt. They pushed away the thing that caused it. They are not rejecting you. They are protecting her. Children don't choose this. A child's love for their mother is not a decision, and it's not a report card. It doesn't depend on whether she is kind or consistent or even present. It is structural. It holds up everything else in their world. So when a child senses, even wrongly, that this new woman might be a threat to that love, they don't weigh the evidence. They defend the foundation. Asking a 7-year-old or a 14-year-old to simply relax and love two households at once is asking them to solve a problem most adults can't solve. They don't have the tools. What they have is you standing in the kitchen wondering what you did wrong. You did nothing wrong. And notice how useless the standard advice is against this. Give it time. Be patient. Kill them with kindness. All of that assumes the child's heart is a locked door and enough kindness is the key. But in a loyalty bind, the door isn't locked. The door is guarded. By the child. On behalf of someone they love. More kindness aimed at that door just gives them more to guard against. Now, sometimes this bind grows all on its own, out of nothing but a child's imagination and grief. But often, it's being fed. There's a word for that too, triangulation. Strip away the jargon and it means this. A conflict between two adults gets routed through a child. The child becomes the messenger, the reporter, the rope in a tug-of-war they never asked to join. Maybe you've seen it. The interrogation after every visit. Did she cook for you? Did she try to act like she's your mom? What did she say about me? Maybe the child comes back to you with lines that don't sound like a child wrote them. Maybe they've quietly become a spy in your house, not because they want to be, but because someone they love debriefs them every Sunday night. Maybe warmth toward you gets punished at the other house, not with anything you could point to, just a chill, a withdrawn mother, a guilt that hangs in the air until the child repents for having had a nice time. When that's happening, your stepchild isn't just carrying a loyalty bind, they're carrying a tax. Every good moment with you costs them something when they go home. And children are smart. They learn very quickly what things cost. So they go cold. Not because they feel nothing, because they feel too much, and coldness is cheaper. So what do? Everything in you says, try harder, plan more, reach further, prove yourself. If love isn't landing, send more love. And this is where I'm going to ask you to do the opposite of your instincts. Stop pursuing. Start being present. Here's the difference. Pursuit puts pressure on the child. Every gift, every planned outing, every hopeful bid for closeness hands them a decision. Do I respond to her or not? And in a loyalty bind, every decision has sides. Every yes to you feels like a no to their mother. When you pursue, you accidentally keep asking the one question this child cannot afford to answer. Look at it from their seat for a moment. An adult keeps reaching toward them, and every reach demands a response, and every response is a verdict. That's not affection landing on a child. That's a spotlight following them around the house. Presence asks nothing. Think of a sanctuary. Not the word, the place. A quiet building with a door unlocked and the lights on. A sanctuary doesn't chase anyone down the street. It doesn't take attendance. It doesn't ask who you love or where you were last weekend. Nobody has to earn their way in, and nobody has to explain themselves at the door. It just stands there, warm and unchanged, and people come when they need it. And they come back. Because it's the one place that never demanded anything. That is your new job. Not to win this child, to become the one place in their split-down-the-middle life where nothing is asked of them. Here's how you build it. 4 tools. They're simple to understand and genuinely hard to do, and they work. First, make your home a low-pressure sanctuary in the most practical sense. That means your house is the place where the child never has to choose sides. No questions about the other household. No fishing. No, did you miss me? No, did your mom say anything about the schedule? When they walk in, nothing is required of them. No hug on demand, no performance of gratitude, no cheerfulness quota. Let them come in quiet and stay quiet if that's what they've got that day. A closed bedroom door for an hour is not a rejection of you. It's a child exhaling. And favor side by side over face to face. Cook while they do homework at the counter. Drive with the radio on. Fold laundry in the same room. Connection with a child grows sideways, in the low-pressure minutes, far more than it grows across a table from a well-meaning adult asking how they really feel. One more thing, and it matters most of all. Let them mention their mother without the air changing. If she comes up, the temperature in your kitchen stays exactly the same. That, more than anything you could ever say, tells the child that both of their worlds are allowed to exist inside your walls. Second, radical emotional neutrality. Translated, it means this. Out loud, in front of the child, their mother is not a topic you have feelings about. Ever. You never criticize her. You never compete with her. You never correct the record, even when the record is wildly, provably wrong. And when the child comes to you carrying a slight, "Mom says you're not my real family. Mom says you're the reason things went bad," you do not react. No defense, no flinch, no counterstory. Something calm and boring like, well, I'm glad you're here. Dinner's at 6. I know how much that asks of you. Some of what gets said about you is unfair, and some of it is cruel. and every cell in your body wants to set it straight. But understand what's actually happening when a child hands you a slight like that. Half the time, they're not delivering a message, they're running a test. They want to know whether their two worlds can be in the same room without an explosion. Because if they can't, the child has to keep those worlds separated forever. And guess who does that exhausting work? When you don't detonate, you pass the test. Inside the sanctuary, the walls don't shake, no matter what gets shouted outside them. Third, non-contingent warmth. In plain terms, kindness that is not a transaction. A lot of stepmother warmth, if we're honest with ourselves, comes with an invisible invoice attached. I was kind to you, so warm up to me. I showed up for you, so let me in. It's human. It's also pressure, and the child feels it, and in the loyalty bind, pressure reads as danger. Non-contingent warmth means you are kind on the days they are cold. You say good morning to the back of a head that doesn't turn around. You make the favorite meal for a kid who might not say thank you, and you're okay if they don't, because the kindness was never a down payment on their affection. It's just what this place is. A sanctuary doesn't heat only the rooms of the people who were polite to it. And hear this clearly, because it gets misunderstood. This is not doormat territory. Boundaries hold. Disrespect gets addressed, calmly, the way it would with any child under your roof. You can require respect. You just never require affection. Those are different things, and a child can feel the difference from across the house. Fourth, steady reliability over forced intimacy. This one sounds the least impressive, and it does the most work. Skip the big engineered bonding moments. The elaborate trip that's secretly supposed to fix everything. The heart-to-heart you've been rehearsing in the shower. Under a loyalty bind, big moments are big pressure, and big pressure gets big resistance. Instead, small, boring, repeated things. The same greeting when they walk in. The ride you never once miss. The pancakes that happen every Sunday, whether the week was good or terrible. The way you always do what you said you would do, especially in the seasons when other adults in their life don't. There's a whole field of research on how children form deep bonds, and here it is in one sentence. Children attach to what is predictable, not to what is impressive. Their world got unpredictable the day their family changed shape. What their nervous system is scanning for now isn't excitement. It's the thing that is still there tomorrow, unchanged. Be the thing that is still there tomorrow. A sanctuary isn't remarkable because of what happens inside it. It's remarkable because it is always open. Now, the part you've been waiting for. What about the other household? What about the interference, the campaign, the poison dripped into small ears week after week? Here is the quiet miracle of everything I've just described. It neutralizes all of that without you ever engaging with it. Not once. A campaign against you needs fuel. It needs you to fight back, to badmouth, to compete, so the story stays alive. See, I told you, she's against us. Every time you defend yourself, you hand the story another chapter. But a sanctuary gives a campaign nothing to work with. When a child is told all week that you're the villain, and then spends the weekend in a house where nothing is demanded, nobody is criticized, and the warmth doesn't carry a price tag, something happens in that child's mind. Slowly, quietly, the story stops matching their lived experience. And children, in the long run, believe their lived experience. Not because you argued, because you never argued. You didn't win the argument, you made the argument irrelevant. And here's the freedom in that. You don't need the other household to change. You don't need the interrogations to stop or the coaching to end. You only need your house to keep telling the truth about itself, every visit, without a single word of rebuttal. Notice, too, what this does for the child, because in the end, that's who all of this is for. The bind was built out of a choice: love her or love me. Your sanctuary removes your half of that choice entirely. Loving their mother costs them nothing in your house. Nothing. And the child who never has to defend a place never has to abandon it. I won't pretend this is fast. It isn't. It's months of good morning said to the back of a head. It's seasons of pancakes. Sometimes it's years. But here's what you're building underneath all of it. There's a term for it: secure attachment. Strip away the clinical language and it means a deep down certainty in the child's body that a person is safe, that they'll still be there tomorrow, that nothing has to be performed and nothing has to be paid to keep them. And then one day, something small happens. The child tells you something from the back seat that they didn't tell anyone else, unprompted, eyes out the window. They fall asleep on your couch in the middle of the afternoon, completely at ease. They say the word home, and they mean your house too, and they don't even notice they said it. So let's go back to the beginning, because the answer was hiding inside the question the whole time. The harder you tried, the more they pulled away, because trying was pressure, and pressure forced a choice, and the choice was one they could not make. Secure attachment isn't won. It was never a contest, even when the other household insisted it was. It's built. Quietly, one unremarkable, reliable day at a time, the way a sanctuary is built, not to capture anyone, just to stand open. And the child walks in, on their own feet, in their own time. They choose you precisely because you never made them choose. You were never too much. You were never the problem. You were just early in the build. Keep the lights on. If this names something you've been carrying alone, say so in the comments. Tell me where you are in the build. Another stepmom will read your words tonight and breathe a little easier because of them. I share videos every week on step-family life, loyalty binds, blended family dynamics, and what it takes to love well inside a complicated family. Subscribe so you don't miss them, and share this one with a stepmother who's still standing at a closed door, wondering what she did wrong. She did nothing wrong. Neither did you. I'll see you next week.